Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you can tell by the title of the video, I'm doing swapping my screen time for reading. That's on my Kindle. Reading. Because I'm usually at home, I actually spend so much time on my screen. It's unbelievable. I think everybody will be shocked. So my actual average screen time is 6 hours and 55 minutes. That's only average, may I add. And I think I'm gonna go by the average because on Monday my actual screen time was 9 hours and 26 minutes. I'm really exposing myself here. But in all fairness, I do wake up super early, about 6 in the morning, and I don't go to bed until like 11, 12 at night, and that's like 18 hours of being awake. So technically it's not too bad. I guess it's still so bad. I think I'm gonna go by the average, and I'm gonna read for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go down to meet my best friend. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to time my phone for 6 hours and 55 minutes while I'm reading, and I'm going to stop it, and then we see how much I end up reading at the end of the day. I have a feeling I'm not gonna read as much today because I won't be back home until like late at night. So I'm just going to read now until I leave, and that's a lot of talking actually. But here's my outfit for the day. I think it's so cute and so comfy. And currently I'm reading Brain Damage by Frida McFadden. It's a thriller and I feel like it's a bit slow. I'm 30% in and it's a bit slow for me. Hey guys, so it's the next day. I got back very late and obviously I filmed on the first day. Honestly, I barely was on my phone to begin with because I was out all day, but I got to about 50% yesterday and I'm planning on finishing the book there today. I just found it so slow in all fairness, and there's not much to the plot, honestly. Like she's just in the hospital trying to regain back the memories that she lost and the strength and movement and all of that kind of thing. So it's like super slow. There's not really much happening in the book. But yeah, here are the pictures that I took yesterday. I didn't film when I got back just because it was already so late and so dark, and I was just like, you know what, I'll just take pictures and show you what's my progress. Let's see how I get on today. Will I be successful? Fingers crossed. Okay, so I'm checking in because my kid woke up from her nap. I have 4 more hours to go, just a little over 4 hours. So I'm going to go for a little walk, feed her, and I'll come back and finish my 4 hours. And I'm nearly finished the book. There's about an hour left. And honestly, I really didn't like the book. And I'll explain why in a little while. Okay, so I finished Brain Damage, and it's a little bit heartbreaking because I hate giving a book such a low rating, but I gave it 2 stars. Like literally was barely any suspense. There was only like 2 scenes or 3 that kind of felt like, okay, this is actually getting somewhere, but other than that I felt like it was a very slow book. Pretty much the whole thing was set in the hospital and improving and getting progress on from her gunshot to the brain that she had, and it just, you know, where she went from barely having any movement to not moving any of her left side to kind of starting to move her left side. It just was painfully slow. The biggest thing for me was I hate the fact that like Frida McFadden made it so centered around the fact that like the main character Charlotte had such a negative look on food, and the fact that like she needed to lose weight, and the fact that like she was so ugly that no guy would ever go for her. Reading how much she needed to lose the weight, and it's just like really put me off the book. It's not, I don't want to read something so negative. It's not likable. I'm not going to pity the character. It's a no for me. And the whole trope of no guy would ever go for me, it's a whole lot of whining, and I don't like that. Okay, like no guy would ever go for you. Okay, good for you, be happy, be you, that kind of thing. I don't know, it really irked me. And also might be a little bit spoiler, so skip to the next part, I'll put it up here. But the book was giving me these kind of vibes that her partner was so bad, and you know, her partner could be so abusive and just such a liar and cheater and manipulator and all of this, and she'd be like, at least I have a husband, it's better than, you know, no husband. Like, girl, come on. My next read is going to be You Reach Sam. I'm hoping it's going to pull my strings at least a little bit, at least be a bit more of an emotional kind of book. I'm a little bit in the mood to be upset, a little bit in the mood to get attached to a character and just like feel the emotions and everything. Like, that's what I'm in the mood for now. And I had this book on my TBR for a while, so I was just like, you know what, I might as well get to reading it now. And then I've about nearly 3 hours left of my timer. Honestly, it feels like such a long day reading 7 hours. And it's not like you just sit in one place and you read. I literally have responsibilities. I'm a mom, I have this and that to do, and trying to fit in 7 hours of reading time, I feel like, is like very hard. But yeah, let's read. Finally finished and I am wrecked, honestly. 7 hours of reading is a lot for me. I've stopped there on page 101 and I'll pick it off from there tomorrow. To be honest, like, I don't really like it. It's not giving me any emotions. It's literally, there's no chemistry between any of the characters. You're not attached to any of the characters. You just, right off the bat, when the book started, when Sam has died, it doesn't really properly go in what happened that night, and I don't know, it just, but yeah, I feel like it lacks quite a lot there. It feels very young adult, 100%. Like, there's some books that I would have read and I would have enjoyed. This one, I just isn't for me. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3. So far, screen time 1 and Anna 1. Okay guys, day 3 of swapping my screen time for reading. So I read nearly for an hour there already today. I have about a little over 6 hours to go. And honestly, like, I really don't like the book. Just feel like there's really nothing happening in the book. It's a very slow book. I didn't connect with the characters. I didn't connect with the storyline. Not much of the plot. It's just really I'm at this stage grasping for some straws, making sure I don't DNF the book, because there's nothing keeping me from reading it. Just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to follow the book, I guess. I should be finished today, and yeah, let's go. Okay, so I've just finished You Reach Sam, and I've just a little over 2 hours left. And let's talk about the book, because damn, was that book putting me into a reading slump. I just didn't care about it at all. Like, not even a little bit. Nothing made me care about the book, the characters, or the story. My battery is dying, so I'll try to make it quick. I just don't have anything nice to say about the book at all. And I think that says a lot. And for that reason, I literally gave it 1 star. I don't think I actually rated the book lower than that. I think that's my first 1-star book. But I just didn't feel like it was written very well, and the plot or just the writing style. But then the way that he got, it was just like very messy, kind of. Didn't enjoy it. Just, I think the 1-star review says a lot about it. But I'm starting Love Hypothesis, and I love Ali Hazelwood, Love on the Brain. I love that book, and I'm hoping I love this one just as much. Yeah, fingers crossed. This will be at least 4 stars. The other 2 books I just like want to erase from my brain. Day number 4, and I want to pop up here and just say that I failed last night's challenge. I ended up falling asleep when I had about 90 minutes left. I didn't make it. I literally kept shutting my eyes and I was just so exhausted. I was just like, I can't do it. But today is a new day and we try again. So let's go. Hey guys, I'm just checking in. I already read for nearly 2 hours and I finished the book. Or I also want to say welcome to the 5th day. So Love Hypothesis. In all fairness, I actually preferred Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood instead. Like, something about that book, I don't know if it's because it's the first book I read of hers, but this one didn't live up to the high expectations that I wanted it to have. I did give it 4 stars. I did like the fake dating and the age gap. The story seemed nice. It was all fine. I did like the story. It was a little bit of Grumpy and Sunshine. I did like that a little bit as well. The fact that like he'd be grumpy to others but not to her. I did like that. Anyways, the next book that I'm starting off is Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher. I haven't read anything by Colleen in a while, and since last book I read anything by Colleen, like in between I've read so many books at this stage, so I'm curious to see if this book would live up to my high expectations, because so far I've read like 4 Colleen Hoover books and I loved them. And I'm curious to see now. Maybe I'd be one of those that like would not like her writing style anymore. That's my little update, and I'll update you guys later. Day 6, checking in. So it's nearly 10 and I'm a little over 3 hours left to read. And so I've nearly finished Never Never. I will be finished today. So I think a little over 100 pages left and less than 2 hours to go. So my thoughts so far. I love it. Like, I love it. It definitely feels like a thriller. Like, I love the plot twists. Well, I did get to the point of why the title says Never Never. And yeah, 3 more hours left to read. I'll check in before I'm done. Fingers crossed I'm done, because I've been failing miserably at this challenge. Good morning, good evening. Day 7, last day. I literally have been failing at this challenge miserably. I don't think I even need to say anything. I think this video pretty much sums it up how badly I've been failing. Anywho, I read for about an hour and a half there earlier. Then I went out for the day and I'm back, so it's like 7 o'clock in the evening, so I'll get a couple more hours of reading time done. But I did finish their Never Never yesterday, and obviously I failed last night's challenge as well, but I had like an hour left to read and I would have finished at like 1 in the morning, and I couldn't. I really couldn't. But I loved the mystery in the novel. I liked the fact how it was kind of fast paced, like or at least for me it was, because I really want to know like what's the story with the book. So it starts off with Charlie, it's a she not a he, and her boyfriend Silas suddenly lost memories. They cannot remember anything. They cannot remember their names, who they are, where they are, just like literally anything. They're on a mission to find out what exactly happened to them, until the plot twists keep happening. And just as soon as you feel like, oh right, I got it now, I think I finally get it, boom, plot twist. And so I did give it 4 stars. Like, I really liked it. I liked the chemistry between the 2 characters. Sadly, I didn't like the ending. I thought it was a bit of a letdown. Like, the book had so much potential and that's the route that they decided to go with. and I could be biased because I genuinely do love everything that I read by Colin Hoover, so take it with a pinch of salt. That's my little update, and I'll see you in a while. Right, it's the next day. Any guesses? Did I get the challenge done yesterday? Of course no. But I will say I fell asleep. I think it was like 8 o'clock or something. I was wrecked after the whole week of staying up very late reading. I actually, in all fairness, this week or last week, I read the most that I've ever had in a week. So one thing I will say, swapping screen time for reading time really does 100% makes you read so much more. I obviously didn't get all of it accomplished, like it was a lot of hours, but it was the most I've read, so I mean it did do something. But after reading so much, I think on day 4 or 5 I started to get a bit of a reading slump, because like I was flying through the books, but to be honest, no, I'll take it back. I hate starting books. Like, oh my god, I hate starting books more than anything. But once I'm past like the first 50 pages and you know the world building has world builded, then I'm okay to read. I think next time I won't be doing my average. I think what I might try to do next time is, if I had 4 hours of screen time that day, I'll do 4 hours. If the next day I had like 7 hours, I'll do 7 hours. I think that's what I might do. I think it might be more entertaining than just the average. Average was not fucking easy. That's one thing I will say. But yeah guys, thank you for watching this little very fun experiment that I tried to do, at which I failed miserably, but we roll with it. Yeah guys, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.